All right, let's get right into it. We're talking about a book that honestly became a global phenomenon and got everyone talking. 12 Rules for Life, An Antidote to Chaos. Now, the author is Dr. Jordan Peterson, a clinical psychologist who has this amazing way of mixing ancient wisdom, mythology, and science into a kind of guide for modern life. And at the heart of the whole book is this fundamental tension that we all live with. So, on one hand, you've got what he calls order. This is the world you know, right? It's all about structure, security, and knowing what's coming next. It's your daily routine, your community, the rules of the game we all play. It's the space where things just make sense and, you feel safe. And then, on the flip side, there's chaos. This is the complete unknown, the totally unexpected. Chaos is where you find both terrifying threats and, believe it or not, thrilling opportunities. It's the force that can totally upend your life, but it's also the source of everything new, everything creative. But here's the big idea, the central argument of the whole book. A truly meaningful life isn't found by just hiding away in order or, totally surrendering to chaos. No, the sweet spot, the place where real growth actually happens is right there on the line, walking that tightrope between the two. And that's exactly what these 12 rules are designed to help you do. So here's how we're going to break this down. We're going to look at these rules through three main themes. First, how to start with yourself. Second, how to engage with the world around you. And third, how to confront reality itself. And then we'll see how it all comes together in the search for meaning. All right, let's jump into part one, start with yourself. The real foundation of Peterson's whole philosophy is that you've got to get your own house in order first. So these first few rules are all about personal responsibility. The very first rule in the book. It sounds like something your parents would tell you, right? Stand up straight. But this isn't just about good posture. Like pretty much everything in this book, there's a much, much deeper biological and psychological reason for it. And this is where he brings in his famous idea of the lobster logic. He points out that even in creatures as ancient as lobsters, posture signals their status and their state of mind. So standing tall isn't just for show, it sends a powerful signal to your own nervous system. It basically tells your brain, hey, I'm ready, I'm competent, I can handle the challenges coming my way. And this kicks off a positive feedback loop, a virtuous cycle, where a confident body leads to more confident actions. Now, this one is a really powerful call for humility and action. The argument is pretty simple. Before you go out trying to fix the world's massive problems, have you fixed the ones you can actually control? But what's so fascinating is how this applies both outward and inward. It's not just about your messy room, it's also about you. And this connects to another key rule. Treat yourself like someone you are responsible for helping. Are you taking care of your own health, your goals, your future, with the same seriousness you'd give to a friend in need? The idea is that real meaningful change starts from a center of personal order. Okay, this rule hits home for so many of us, especially today with social media being this endless highlight reel. The only person you should really be in competition with is the person you were yesterday. The goal isn't to be better than someone else, it's just to be a little bit better than you were. And that's a game you can actually win, one small step at a time. So once you've started to get your own inner world in order, you can start applying these ideas outward. And that brings us to part two, engage with your world. This is all about how you navigate your social reality. This rule really highlights just how much your social circle influences you. Peterson is super direct about it. You need to surround yourself with people who actually support your growth. But, it's a two-way street. A huge part of engaging with the world is also about how you listen, which is the heart of another rule. Assume that the person you are listening to might know something you don't. Real friendship and real learning doesn't happen when you're trying to win an argument. It happens when you're genuinely open to hearing a new perspective. All right, next up is one of the rules that gets people talking the most, especially parents. Do not let your children do anything that makes you dislike them. I know, at first glance, that sounds pretty harsh. Is he saying you should be cruel or unloving to your kids? But his answer is that it's the exact opposite. He argues that a parent's job is to be a stand-in for the real world. So discipline and teaching social rules aren't acts of cruelty at all. They're acts of love. They're designed to make sure a child can function successfully and, be liked and accepted by society as they get older. And this idea of preparing kids for the real world, well, it also means letting them actually face it. And that's the core of the skateboarding metaphor. It's all about why risk is so necessary. When children, or really anyone, are pushing their own limits, we should let them. Being overprotective actually robs people of the chance to develop real competence, resilience, and true confidence. So we've looked at our internal world and our social world. The final set of rules zooms way out to the biggest picture. This is part 3, confront reality.
And it's all about adopting a philosophical stance toward life itself, tackling truth, suffering, and purpose head-on.
Rule 7 presents us with this fundamental choice in life. Pursue what is meaningful, not what is expedient. The expedient path, that's the easy route. It's convenient, it's all about short-term gain. But the meaningful path, that's difficult. It requires responsibility, and it's aimed at a long-term purpose. Peterson argues that choosing meaning by voluntarily taking on responsibility is the only real antidote to the suffering that's just an inherent part of life.
Peterson argues that truth is basically your map of reality, and every single lie you tell, even a tiny one, warps that map and makes it harder and harder to find your way in the world. And the most essential tool for telling the truth is another rule: be precise in your speech. Vague language lets you hide from reality, but being precise, that forces you to confront your problems directly. By defining exactly what's wrong, you're taking the very first step toward making it right.
And finally, we have this beautiful, simple rule. Life is full of suffering and chaos. We know that. But this rule is such a profound reminder to stay aware of the small, fleeting moments of grace and beauty that exist right alongside all the hard stuff. It's an instruction to just be present and to find a little bit of gratitude, even when things are difficult. So where does all of this lead? Well, it brings us right back to the central theme of the entire book, the search for meaning, which Peterson proposes is the ultimate antidote to the chaos of life. You know, if you really boil all 12 of these rules down, you end up with this core philosophy. First, take radical personal responsibility for your own life. Second, commit yourself to telling the truth with precision. And third, find the meaning that justifies life's suffering by voluntarily choosing to take on that responsibility. Ultimately, the book's message is this incredibly empowering call to action. It suggests that the absolute best way to improve the world is to start by improving yourself. By taking on your own burden properly, you don't just make your own life better, you become a source of strength and order for everyone around you. And that really leaves us all with a final question to think about. After going through these ideas, it's worth asking yourself, what's one small piece of chaos in your own world that you could choose to confront right now, today?